Oh my goodness. I'm in Huntsville, Alabama. I left Michigan to get out of the cold weather. And listen, we got snow, we got sleet. I mean, the snow was so hard here where you could walk on it and not even leave footprints. I didn't even know if I was going to make it into the studio this morning, but I'm here. I left a little early, got here so that we can actually do the show for you live. I didn't want to do it from my home office. Okay, I wanted to do it from here, so because I have multiple screens to use, and it just makes a lot better to be able to do this. So, but good morning to everybody. We've got some stuff for you today because people are listen. Good morning. I've got Wealth Gamers Network in here. Good morning to you. I've got Bobby Bow in here. Listen, if you're in Clubhouse, you want to transition to YouTube right now because your sound is getting ready to go off. So go ahead. The link is up at the top of Clubhouse and in the chat. So I'll see everybody over on social media right about now. All right, everybody. Thank you for being here. And listen, my name is Don Daniel, founder of P.I.L.L Method International, a better way to eliminate debt. And we have been here doing this thing, getting the word out about how debt actually works. Oh man, we need you to know right now that you don't have to do it the way it's been done since 1936. Since 1936, we've been looking at debt the wrong way. P.I.L.L method stands for prepayment of principal, isolating the principal amount, leverage, and liquidity. And we're going to be going over some of those terms right now, but to help you to understand what's really going on with the housing market, okay? Was helping you to understand what's going on with the housing market. I'm going to go over some interest rates. Yeah, interest rates have always been a liar. And right now, people are waiting for interest rates to come down so that they can buy a home. It makes no sense, especially in this market. Right now, we are still in a situation where there are not enough houses. And the only thing that has slowed the housing market down, cooled it off, was not that we had more houses to choose from. It was because of the interest rates. And people didn't understand that a higher interest rate, okay, watch this now, a higher interest rate can actually help you to save more money and pay your house off sooner than a lower one. Listen, if you want proof of that, all right, I'm going to show you right now what I'm talking about. I'm going to put something on the screen for you just to show you what I'm talking about. And we're going to take a look at Brett Whistle here, okay? And use an amortization calculator. Some of you have parents and grandparents who have paid off mortgages, and you wonder how they did it. Because they got their houses in, the 70s and the 80s. Did you know the interest rates were astronomical in the 70s and 80s? Can I give you an example of what's going on? Just a $100,000 loan. And some of you may know, ask your parents, ask your grandparents, they had interest rates between 12 and 18%. 12 and 18%. Can I show you something very interesting about a high interest rate? And you're wondering how they did it. Okay, Bobby Bow says, come on, Bobby, what are you saying here? Not only buy a home, but pay it off early in 7 to 10 years. Bobby, you know it. That's exactly what we're going to be getting at, okay? Because you can control, let me tell you something. You can control how much interest you pay way more than you can control the price of your house. Okay. When interest rates go down, that people will jump back into the market. When they jump back into the market to get a home, there's still too few homes out there. What's going to happen when people jump back into the market to buy a home and there are too few homes? Yeah, supply and demand. The price for these homes are going to continue to go up. So get your house now. Don't wait. And we're going to show you. Listen, if you want to come on, listen, you need to come on here and talk about this with me today. All right. We put the link in there for you. Put your questions in the comment section, or actually become part of our studio audience. We have a free download for everyone who comes into the studio audience today. Okay. For everyone that comes into the studio audience, we have a free download for you. So come on in, let's talk about it, and we'll give you that information. Okay. So I need you to watch this. Here's $100,000 mortgage. Now, the houses weren't as expensive when your parents and your grandparents bought a house. Okay. So we're going to do just $100,000. I'm going to put this thing at, it's not 12%, not 18%. Let's put it somewhere around here, 15%. Okay. I want to show you something very interesting about this. Now, when you first see it, it's going to be scary. It'll be scary when you first see it, but you need to understand it. Okay. Here's a payment of $1,264.44. Okay. That's on a $100,000 house. We're also going to put in a $50,000 home, because back in the day, this still could buy a fairly nice house. So we're going to put this one in at 18%. Okay, 18%, 50,000. There we go. Boom. All right. Now that payment is $753.54. Okay, that's the payment. I need you to take a look at this payment of $100,000 at 15%. On a $100,000 loan, here's what the bank wanted: $355,198.40. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this is a suggestion. This is not law. They're making a suggestion to you. And here's the suggestion. If you keep our money for 30 years, we want you to pay us $355,000 in interest, so that the true cost on your home is not $100,000. It is actually $455,000. That's what we want you to do. It is a suggestion. You don't have to pay that. Let me show you how your grandparents did it. Your parents did it based on what we see here. Oh my goodness, look at this. Can I zoom in on this? Can I make this just a little bit bigger so you can see what I'm talking about? With the higher interest rates, look at this principal payment. When they made their payment, look at this, $1,264.44. Out of that money, only $14.44 went to principal, while $1,250 went to interest. That is ridiculous. And I want you to know why it is that how a mortgage actually works is not taught in school. It's not even taught to real estate agents. It's not even taught to mortgage professionals who sell mortgages. They don't know. And besides, when mortgages were being sold, then anybody could sell a mortgage. You didn't even need a license. So if you didn't need a license and there was no studying involved, there was no teaching you how a mortgage actually worked, how would you know you didn't have to pay all of this interest? Can I show you something about this? Listen, I wish I had somebody in here today to talk to me. All right. Because this is going to be awesome. Here's how your parents did it. Here's how your grandparents did it. Because of this principal payment, and I need you to write this down, control the principal payment and you control the loan. Interest payments you can skip, don't matter. This is why I'm telling you, you can control the interest way better than you can control the price of housing, because the Housing prices are going to go through the roof this year. If the Fed starts to cut interest rates, and everybody's talking about it, they're saying maybe 3 times they're going to cut rates this year, maybe, and some are even talking about 6 times. Okay. Oh, Steph C, I see you. She says, but I cannot join. But that's okay, Steph. You listen, put your information in the chat. All right. So before we even get started, I forgot. We're doing something new. We're getting a facelift on the whole channel. All right. And we're putting it in step by step. But right now, have you ever heard the term membership is privileges? You can become a member of the channel right now and support the channel. How about that? You can give all kinds of support to the channel now by joining the P.I.L.L method. We have 3 levels of support. So join the P.I.L.L method channel. We're going to be breaking out some of the benefits of being a member of this channel. Now, let's take a look at the amortization schedule here. If I make a payment here, we're still in January. I make my January payment, only $14.44 out of this payment pays down the loan. So I start out with $100,000. I make my payment, and now I'm paid down to $99,985.56 because only $14 got paid. Next month, it doesn't get much better. Next month, in February, $14.62 would go to principal, and $1,249.82 would go to interest. Let me show you what your parents and your grandparents did without knowing. If they put any extra money down on this loan, let me show you how powerful that is. Okay, here's how powerful it is. I make my January payment. What is my February principal payment? What is my February principal payment? My February principal payment is $14.62. Do I have to wait till February to give the bank an extra $14.62? The answer is absolutely no. It is called a prepayment. See, that's the P in P.I.L.L method. It stands for prepayment of principal. And when you're dealing with prepayment of principal, you need to know what your benefit is. For far too long, no one knew the benefit of prepaying principal. All they knew was you're going to save interest and you're going to save time, but no one knew how much. And this is what, if you understand this amortization schedule, if you can read it, then you can set yourself up to win even at the higher interest rates, while everybody else is waiting for the interest rates to come down so the prices of the houses can go up. You can get your house now at a higher interest rate, and you don't have, listen, you don't have to do this. Here's the thing that they're saying. Marry the house and date the rate. Don't do it. Don't do it, because you want to come back on Sunday when we're talking about refi fantasy. How if you marry the house and date the rate, that means when the interest rates come down, you can refinance into a lower interest rate. I'm going to talk to you on Sunday why that's a huge mistake. Never refinance to get a lower interest rate. You are hurting yourself. You're actually making it harder to pay off the loan. We're going to talk about that on Sunday, but watch this. Okay. So if I make my payment here in January, all right, then here is my February principal payment. What if I paid that early? What if I give the bank $14.62 in January? Do you realize I paid down to line 2 on my amortization schedule because all $14.62 would go to principal? Yep. I've already paid them my January payment. I'm going to give them an additional $14.62. That puts me down here. My next mortgage payment for February is actually on line 3 of this schedule. What just happened for $14.62? If I pay on the bank schedule, all right, I know this is kind of unbelievable. If I pay on the bank schedule, I have to pay them every month $1,264.44. Every single month I have to pay that. Okay? But you don't always have to pay on the bank schedule. You can create your own schedule and say, I'm going to give you your regular payment because that is by contract. But I don't have to wait to give you more money. If I pay on your schedule every single month, I have to pay you a huge amount of interest. 1250, 1249, 1249 and 64, 1249 and 45, 1249. Look at that. It doesn't go down by very much at all if we do this on the bank schedule, how much money we have to give them. So if I give the bank this early, I don't have to, I skip right over $1,249.82 in interest I never have to pay. The overall interest cost on this loan is $355,000. I just lowered that amount by $1,249.82 by giving the bank $14.62. When your parents and your grandparents were trying to pay off the home faster, they did not realize what they were doing by giving the bank just a little bit of money. If they could give the bank $14.62, that saved them almost $1,250 worth of interest. What if they only gave the bank about $7 extra? That's about half of this. $7 would save half the interest. Over $600 in interest for just $7. Do you see the power in having a higher interest rate? How your parents were able to do this and pay off their loans. So more of their money went to principal, less of their money went to interest. This is what this means, ladies and gentlemen. I need you to take a look at cumulative principal and cumulative interest. This is why I use Brett Whistle. All right. Listen, you all, if you're new, you probably don't have this link. I'm going to copy this link. We're going to put it in, we're going to put it over here in the comment section so you guys can have it. There it is. You need to play around with this thing. I use this as a teaching tool and it's available to everybody. All right. Play around with it and you'll see what I see. This thing adds 2 extra columns that you don't get in your amortization schedule from home. You get in your loan package. You only get principal, interest, and principal balance. You don't get cumulative principal and cumulative interest, which means they are adding up for you your principal and interest at any given point in the loan. After 1 year, I need you to see this. After 1 year, if you pay it according to the bank schedule, only $185.71 goes to principal, while $14,987.57 goes to interest. The reason why we stay in debt so long, the reason why people are always trying to get a better interest rate and do things in a way that actually costs them more money is because we lose track of how much interest we're actually paying. I call it in my book, interest consumption. How much interest are you consuming each and every month? Do you know? Did you know that the average well-to-do family has about 13 different debts? And I mean families that are making good money. Did you realize that 35 to 39% of your take-home pay just pays interest alone because of how this system is set up? You, me, and everybody else that works for a living, we have been made to be a natural resource. Bankers are tapping into this natural resource Okay. By lending us money for education, for our cars, for our houses, for whatever we want to do that, we need to borrow their money. Credit cards. Okay. Don't leave home without it. Listen, when you're using their money, they are making money because we don't understand how it works. Now, once you understand how it works, you can borrow money at a severe discount. I'm telling you, and pay them pennies on the dollar for the use of their money. Can I show you a couple of things here? Let me show you just a couple of things right here. I'm making January's payment, and I'm going to give the bank an extra $14.62, $14.80, $14.99. Listen, that's a little bit less than $45 here, folks. A little bit, $45. Let me show you what $45 applied to this loan in your own scheduled time, what it does for this loan. It knocks out these 3 interest payments. And your next mortgage payment is on line 5. $45 knocks out 3 mortgage payments this person will never have to make, shortening listen, we're compressing that schedule of 360 payments. We just took 3 payments off the table and saved $1,200, $2,400, $3,600, $3,700 in interest we don't have to pay for $45. This is how your grandparents did it. You want to know how they did it? This is how, but they didn't realize what was going on. Small amounts of money kill huge amounts of mortgage interest. And we're not supposed to know that. And when you don't know that, you make serious mistakes. So the bank makes more money. If $45 would do this, can I show you what cumulative principal would do? What if I had $185 right now? Do I have to pay this $185.71 in 12 monthly installments? Put it in the chat. Okay? Put it in the chat. Do I have to pay it in 12 monthly installments, ladies and gentlemen? We're talking about why you don't wait. Don't wait to buy your house. Get it now and take advantage of these higher interest rates. I'm going to show you something in a minute. You're going to need to see this. All right? $185.71. Do I have to give it to them in 12 monthly installments? Or if I had it, could I give it to the bank in month 1, make my regular mortgage payment, and give them an extra $185.71 if I had it? Guess what would happen? My goodness. Loving this convo already. Loving the listen. Does somebody mean that they've joined us, that we have a partner already? Does that what that means? Okay. Thank you very much. Continue to partner with us. I trust that. Oh, it's a super chat. Well, listen, thank you very much for that super chat. I appreciate it so much. See, people, we're giving away good information here. And if you appreciate it, go on in and send that into super chat. Thank you very much, Ruby Designs. We appreciate you so very much for doing that. Okay, watch this. Okay, $185. Okay, paid out at one time. I'm paid down to here in just 1 month. What? Oh man, Don, I don't believe it. I don't believe you. Okay. When anybody ever talks about finances, listen, I'm lowering my voice and I'm looking straight into the camera. When anybody talks about finances, I don't care if it's on YouTube, if it's Dave Ramsey, Susie Orman, some of the other popular shows on YouTube talking about money, if they don't show you the math, don't you believe it. This is the only place that we're going to show you the math as to why we preach what we preach, why we teach what we teach, is because we show you the math. So remember, we have $100,000 Okay. Here's my $100,000 loan. And if I pay 100, I'm going to subtract $185.71 all at one time, not over 12 months. So I'm going to subtract $185.71 equals, oh, 99,814.29. That is the same amount here. I can pay the bank $185.71 over 12 months, but it will cost me $14,987.57 to do it. Or I can give them $185 at one time on line one, get paid down to here in 1 month, and only pay $1,250 worth of interest instead of $14,000 worth of interest. This is how your grandparents did it. And they didn't know they were doing it. Come on now. You need to share this with everybody you know. If you listen, hit that, get that link from this and share it wherever you are. If you're watching us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, I don't care. Share it out to everyone. Share it out to everyone so that you can also know. So you can share this with others so that they can know too. Don't just keep it to yourself. Start sharing to everybody. And when you have opportunity, when we're done here, this is going to stay up forever. And you can also bring them back here so that if somebody's waiting for the interest rates to come down, they don't want to do that. Here's something else you want to see. If people don't understand how to read this thing, let me show you what happens. If they're not paying extra, if they're just getting the habit of making their minimum payments, not looking at how much interest they're paying, after 2 years, only $400 goes to principal. $29,000, almost $30,000 will go to interest. After 3 years, only $651 and $44,000 would go. You want to know how your grandparents paid off a 15% interest rate? Oh yeah. Higher the interest rate, lower the principal payment. Control the principal payment and you control the loan. Interest payments you skip don't matter. So if we looked at just 2 years on this thing, 2 years, did you realize if you started out right at the beginning, made your regular mortgage payment, and if you had an extra $400 and applied it to this mortgage, you would knock 2 years off this mortgage, 2 years off with just a $400 payment and save and save $29,000 in interest you'll never have to pay. Folks, who on the internet or anywhere else is teaching you this for free? Who else? Where's she going to get this except for the P.I.L.L method? All right. You need to understand this. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at another interest rate. Remember, I told you because interest rates got as high as 18%. Okay. And even higher. But at 18% on a $50,000 loan. Okay. Because you could get a house for $50,000 way back when, and a nice one. Okay. I need you to look at this. $3.54. Your grandparents got an 18% loan on their $50,000 home, and only $3.54 was going to principal, while $750 was going to interest. Now that you know how to read it, now that you know how to read this, does this put a smile on your face? Or do you still have a frown looking at, oh man, look at how people are being ripped off? Do you see how you can take advantage of this thing with an extra $46, an extra $46? You can knock off 1 year off this mortgage and save almost $9,000 in interest. Or an extra $100 knocks off 2 years An extra $167 knocks off 3 years and saves $26,000 your grandparents didn't have to pay. And listen, we might as well just go down to extra $250. If they put an extra $250 on this loan, they knocked off 4 years off this loan and saved themselves $35,923. Do you see why this is not taught in grade school, in middle school, in high school? This how to read an amortization schedule is not taught in college. It's not taught in finance classes. If you are going to be an accountant, a CPA, do you realize that every CPA that's listening to me right now, they're looking at their spouse, they're looking at their friends, they're saying, I didn't learn this in my classes. How in the world do we have financial professionals, CPAs, people who are financial planners, people who help people with investments? If you to the Wharton School of Business, listen, you could go to an Ivy League school of business and they're not teaching you this. Does anybody have any questions? Are you following this? Are you getting this? Listen, can I get some flames in the chat? Or some number 9s in the chat? Give me something to let me know that you appreciate this information that you're receiving right now. Okay. All right. So let's see what Bobby has to say. It says Bobby Bowl says, can you do another example with a $400,000 loan? Bobby, I will listen. Bobby says, listen, I'll give you a number 9. Thank you, Bobby. Deborah Charity just jumped in with, several 9s watching us on YouTube. Okay. All right. Steph C says, no one else is teaching this. Sharon M. Jones is in here. She's saying number 9. Listen, can I get some more support? Because the more support I get, the more energy I get, the more ideas that I get. Steph. Thank you, Steph C says, come on with it. I need to show you what is happening with this stuff. I'm going to break out of here. All right. I'm going to show you something else right now. Okay. I'm going to move this over off this screen, and I need to show you this before we jump into that $400,000 loan. I want to talk about financial violence and why you shouldn't wait. All right. Why you shouldn't wait to buy your home. Get it now, because you are in control of how much interest you pay. You're not in control of the housing market. Okay. And I have a whole article that I've written on that. Okay. You're not in control of the housing market, but you can be in control of what you pay for interest and how you can borrow that money at a discount. Okay. This financial violence. This is the definition of how lending is practiced today. Okay. I need you to see this. Here is an example of a $500,000 loan, all right, at 3%. This is at 3%. We can't even get 3% right now, okay? But let me show you what's going on here. At 3%, the bank wants $258,887.20 in interest. What? 3%? The bank wants $258,000 on a $500,000 loan. Folks, does that look like 3% to you? All right. Well, it's not, because now your cost of your home is now, if you let the banks have their way, a $500,000 home, you're going to pay $758,887 for that home. That is the true cost when you add in the interest. It is not how much money you borrow that is the problem. It is how much you pay to borrow the money, and you don't have to pay that. You don't have to. But let me show you. A 3% mortgage actually turns this loan not into a 3% loan, but into a 51% loan. Total interest paid as a percentage of principal, 51.77%. In other words, this $258,000 is 51.777% of $500. When you amortize a loan, that's what it does. It doesn't give you one loan. It gives you 360 separate loans, and you're charged a huge amount every single month. That's why it is so expensive. Okay? Here's what we're looking at. This is why you don't want to wait. You do not want to wait to buy your home. Get it now. Okay? At 4% interest, the bank wants $359,000 in interest. That's 71% of what you borrowed. At 5%, the bank wants 93%. Now we're talking about what they want. We're not talking about what they're going to get. You already know you don't have to get that. Okay? You don't have to pay that. 6%, the bank wants $579,000 of interest on a $500,000 loan. They want more interest than you borrowed in principal. So now we're talking about 1 million. When you get through paying off this house in 30 years, you're paying $1,079,000 for a $500,000 home. That's what they want, which makes this loan 115.838%. At 7%, here's what they want: $697,000. 139.5%. Now, if we only look at this, we get anxious. We wait for the interest rates to drop, and then it's going to overheat the market, and then your housing prices will go up. So if your housing price goes up and your interest rate goes down, two things happen. It doesn't help you. Your payment is still going to go up. If your house gets more expensive and you don't know anything about what happens when you prepay or how to mitigate interest payments, you're going to pay way too much money anyway. So get the house now where you can control your principal, your interest, how much interest you pay, but you will not be able to control the price of the house. It's going to shoot through the roof. Now, somebody asked about, I'm taking this off the screen now. Okay. And we're going to go back to our amortization schedule. All right. And I need to take a look at, oh man, Wealth Gamers putting some fire in the chat. Thank you, Wealth Gamers Networks. We appreciate you. Start sharing this out with everybody. And let's see. Deborah Charity says, I learned this in real estate law in 1969. Deborah Charity, we so appreciate you. She's watching us on YouTube right now. Steve Mack is sending us a ton of nines, getting so much out of this. All right, Steve Mack said, let's go. All right, Steve Mack says, I'm here, Don. Okay. Stevenson Mack, come on. Here's what I need you to see. All right. Somebody says, what about a $400,000 loan today? A $400,000 loan today. Did you know that the median home price in the United States right now is about $420,000? The interest rate, okay, is about 6.5%. So it's coming down. So we're going to put in 420,000 at 6.5%, 6.5. We're going to take a look at that. Now, here is the caveat to all of this. If you can afford the payment, then be careful about how low you bring down your interest rate. Be careful about letting people say, oh, listen, you buy a house from now, they're giving you incentives. They're giving you incentives so that they will buy down the rate for you. They'll buy down the rate for you so that you can get a lesser rate. Listen, folks, if I had my choice, I wouldn't let them pay $12,000, $15,000 to get me a lower interest rate. Give me the 12 to 15. Give me the money. I'll show you what you can do with that. Okay. Listen, when at 6.5, at 6.5, if you can afford the payment, this is what this means. Okay. Let me get this advertising off. All right. Here's what it means. Your principal payment is $379.69. Here's your interest payment. So if you're in a position to save up some money, here's how you're going to do this. I need you to focus in here because people tell me all the time, Don, what if people don't have the extra money you're talking about? Yes, you do. I can almost guarantee that you do. All you have to do is track your spending. I'm not talking about limiting yourself. I'm talking about just track your spending. Know how much you make and know how much you're spending to pay your bills. Track it. Write it down somewhere. I don't care if it's a raggedy old notebook. Write down how much it costs for you to pay your bills each month, how much it costs for food, how much it costs for a gas, how much it costs for electricity, how much does it cost for your cell phone. Put all of your bills somewhere so that you can write down how much it costs you to pay that. How much does it cost to put minimum payments on my loans? Write down how much it costs. Okay? When you do that, you can see what it really costs to pay all of your bills. And even if you give yourself a lifestyle budget, what is a lifestyle budget? A lifestyle budget means this is how much money we want to spend on our family just to have some fun. How about that? Don't leave out the lifestyle budget. Dave Ramsey wants you to leave out the lifestyle budget. Dave Ramsey will tell you, listen, you don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to do anything. You need to just stay home, cut up your credit cards, just go to work, pay your bills, and throw all the extra money you have at your debt until you're debt free. And then you can start living. Well, by then, your kids are grown. And what is their relationship to money? We don't have enough money. We can't go anywhere. We can't do anything. You can't go on the travel team. Okay. You can't play soccer. You can't play baseball because mommy and daddy are doing whatever they can to pay off this 30-year home in about 9 or 10 years so we can pay it all off. But listen, they're already 8 or 9 years old wanting to play these sports. And by the time you're done doing it that way, they're 18 and out of the house. What is their relationship to money? It's broken. It's damaged. Is that what you want for your children? Put in a budget so that you can have some fun along the way. And then any money that's left over after having fun with the family, paying all the bills, you can see how much money is actually left over. Put that money in a savings account. And as it builds up, man, you say, I'm paying off my bills and we're saving money. I can take a chunk of that change out of my savings account and attack this loan. Ooh, that's what we do over here at the P.I.L.L method. The only difference is our program tells you exactly how much money to save, exactly when to take that money out of savings, and exactly how much to pay. You want to pay the least amount you can on your debt. Listen to this now. Pay the least amount to save the maximum in interest. We're going to show you how to optimize interest savings. How can I kill more interest per dollar is what the P.I.L.L method is all about. Prepayment of principal, isolating the principal amount, leverage, and liquidity. When you do that, that's when you can know that you're saving the maximum amount of interest per dollar applied. Let me show you something here on this. We have $379.69. All right. And if you could afford this payment, all right, and we got $2,275 going to interest. By prepaying $381 here, you get rid of $2,272 in interest. Every time you pay a mortgage payment, you're gaining equity. but only at $300 and $400 at a time. And that equity costs you every single month $22.75, $22.72, $22.70, $22.68. Is that what you all want to pay for your equity? Is that what you want to pay? Okay, I'm actually doing 420,000 because that is the median home price, not 400,000 that was suggested. I want to go with the median home price. Okay, so here's what we're doing, ladies and gentlemen. 420,000. Here's what it would do. Look at this. After 1 year, $4,694.51. What if you're able to? Do you know how many people I meet that can, after all their bills are paid, if they track their money, they have $500 left over, or $1,000 left over, or $1,500 left over. Do you realize how quickly you can save up some money to apply to the debt? Oh my goodness, how quickly you could do that. Listen, come to the stage, talk to me about this. You know, we're doing something new this year. You don't even have to be on camera. You can be on just audio and we can discuss this. If you want to know more about this, then you listen. I will teach you directly. What other people have to pay for, you can come to the stage and get it for free. Steph C says, preach, Don. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So here's what we're doing. For if this is what you would pay in 1 year, what if you're able to save up some money and apply it to the debt? Okay. This is why you don't want to wait. Because when you wait for the interest payments to go, the interest rates to go down, $4,694.51 would knock off 1 year off this loan and save you $27,000 in interest. Okay. At 6.5%. What if we're going to duplicate this tab, same loan? What if somebody offered you, listen, work with our subdivision and we'll get you a better rate. We'll get you 5.5. Okay. We'll get you 5.5. All right. Work with us. We'll get you 5.5. We'll pay for it. Okay. We'll pay for it. We'll get you 5.5. And now my payment has dropped to $23.84 instead of $26.54. Okay. Not even $300. Okay. Not even $300. So here's what we're looking at. 1 year, $4,694.51. That's at 6.5. I want you to see what would happen if you put $4,694.51 on your 5.5% loan. At 5.5%, look at your principal payments are higher. Okay. And 4,694. Let's go to cumulative principal. That's why I love Brett Whistle. 4,000. Okay, one more time. 4,694. 4,690. There it is. 4,693 only takes off 10 months. When you lower the interest rate, your principal payment gets larger. You may like the sound of a lower interest rate. You may like the sound of your smaller payment, but the people who own the bank know, and this is why they offer it. Why in the world would a bank? Now you can actually do better than this. What if they say, listen, we're going to get you 4.5. Instead of 6.5, we're going to get you 4.5. 4.5%. So we're going to do 4.5 as well. We're going to pay for that for you. Okay. Now, here's what I need you to understand. I want you to see the difference in the interest cost on these things. Here's what the bank is looking for. Do you realize that most people will never pay off a mortgage because they don't know that they can do this? 9 out of 10 people you know will never pay off a mortgage. 9 out of 10 people. You don't believe me? Okay. Count up all the people you know that have ever had a mortgage, and then count up all the people you know that actually paid one off. It'll be less than 10% of the people you know. This system is set up for over 90% of us to fail, to do the very thing that we set out to do, pay off this mortgage. So bankers know that they're going to get the amount of interest that they're looking for because you'll never pay off. You'll die with a mortgage. That's what they're looking for. Yeah. Now, what is happening here is if you lower the interest rate, I need you to see the principal payment on each one of these. I'm starting out at $379 here for my principal payment. At 5.5%, it goes to $459. Look at that. At 4.5% on the same loan, my principal payment starts out at $553. I just made it harder to pay the loan off faster by lowering the interest rate. And your banks, people who own the bank, people who own the mortgage company understand this, but they don't teach it to their employees, and they're not teaching it to your real estate agent. You're only going to get that information here at the P.I.L.L method. Put your questions, put your comments in the chat. Put your questions, put your comments in the chat, in the comment section, or come to the stage and talk to me. Let's talk about it. You have that ability to ask questions and learn more if you can ask the questions that you want. What's going through your head when you see this? Okay. Now, here is why it doesn't make financial sense. I'm going to break this all the way down for you. And you need to be able to ask yourself this question. If I'm saving money by getting the lower interest rate and making it easier for my family, then who has to be losing money? Okay. Why would a bank, listen, it's only going to cost even if it's an incentive to lower your mortgage payment by 2 points. Okay. To lower your interest rate by 2 points, it could cost anywhere from like $12,000 to $15,000. Why would a bank say, pay me $15,000 and I'll lower your interest rate for 15 grand? I'm going to show you why financially it doesn't make sense to do that. Okay. So how much interest are they looking to get? How much interest are they looking to get at 6.5%? 535,000. At 5.5%, 438,000. At 4.5%, 346,000. Can I show you something here? Tell me if this makes sense to you. I'm a bank. Okay. I'm a bank. And I know historically, most people I lend money to, I'm going to get every dime of this interest and more. Why? Because every 5 to 7 years, my clients will refinance their loan. So I'm going to get every dime of this interest and more. Americans don't have 30-year mortgages. They have a string of 5 to 7 year mortgages until they die because they keep refinancing for whatever reason. Okay. So here's what's going on. I'm going to put a calculator on the screen and I want you to tell me what sense this makes. If I'm a bank and people need to buy a house, and I got a 6.5% rate, people will pay that. People will pay that. All right. What do we got here? Steph C says, what about down payment assistance programs, Don? Okay. Yeah. Down payment assistance. Very rarely are they grants. What is a grant? A grant is something you don't have to pay back. Generally, down payment assistance means whatever payment assistance they give you, you're going to pay back somewhere down the line. Yeah. Just ask where. Whatever the down payment assistance is, just ask, where am I going to have to pay this back? They must tell you the truth. Okay? If it's a grant, then show me in writing that I never have to pay it back. Show me that it is a grant and I don't have to pay it back. But somewhere down the line, that down payment assistance only gets you into the loan so people can start making money off you. I'm just saying. Okay? So I'm a bank and I'm going to make $535,000 off these people. Okay? I'm going to make $535,000 off these people. But if somebody pays me $15,000, I'll give them 4.5%. Okay? So we're going to put this in here. $535,688.40. Okay? This is how much the bank stands to make on this loan. Okay? This is what it means. Somebody's going to pay me $15,000 so that they get a lower interest rate to 4.5%. Okay? $346,000. So here's what the bank is literally saying they want to do. For $15,000, I'll lower your interest rate to 4.5%, where the total interest paid is $346,108. Most people are going to pay all of that and more. Why? Because they don't know how to read an amortization schedule. They've never been taught. It's not taught in school. So they pay way more interest than they need to pay. So we're going to subtract $346,000. Some of you are way ahead of me already. You know where I'm going. 108.80 equals $189,579 loss to the bank. What? For $15,000, they will sell you a loan where they stand to lose $189,579.60. What financial sense does that make to lower your interest rate? How does that help the bank? They're in the business to make money. They're in the business of, they're beholden to their shareholders. Their shareholders want to see a dividend. Their shareholders want to see their stock rise. How can their stock rise if they have a general plan to sell you a loan for $15,000 where they lose $189,000 on it? CFC says, nah, they're not losing. Why? Because when you lower the interest rate, it makes it harder to pay the loan off sooner and save interest. If you go in there, start talking about, I'm going to save interest, or what can I do to save interest? Oh, yeah. We don't need them. We don't need them with this higher interest rate attacking this loan. We're going to make less money. Let's give them a lower interest rate so that their principal payment is actually higher. So it takes $555.15 to get rid of one line on their schedule instead of an extra $381.75 to get rid of one line on their schedule. Do you see what's going on here, folks? You have more control over these loans at the higher interest rate than you do at the lower interest rate. Listen, folks, I'm going to get a drink of water. I'm going to take a quick break here. We're going to put a little commercial on for you from Dr. Eric Thomas. Let's see what he has to say about paying off his mortgage.
Listen to me, y'all. But one of his mentees took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. So when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down from my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest.
Listen, I got a free download for you guys. I got something for you guys to read, and it's for free. All I need is I just need some people to get in here and click the like button. Click the like button. Okay, we have several people in here right now. Click the like button. And when you click the like button, we're going to give you something for free. All right, we're going to put it on the screen right now. All right, and I'm going to go over this. Click the like button, and I need some. If I can get at least 5 people to click that like button, if I can get some number 9s in the chat, okay. If I can get 10 people, 5 people to put number 9s in the chat and click that like button. All right. I'm going to put this link out here so that you can have this. I need you to see this though right now. We're going to go over it, some of the things that are in here. All right. It says transforming your financial future, controlling interest costs with the P.I.L.L method's opportunity cost calculator. And here is the key thing right here. This approach underlines a profound truth. You have more control over interest costs than over the unpredictable housing markets. First of all, you need to understand the amortization formula. Okay, we teach that at the P.I.L.L method. Okay, understanding that foundation, the power of an opportunity cost calculator. I see those number 9s coming in. I need to see a few more, and I'll give this to you for free. I'll give it to you for free. Enter the P.I.L.L method's opportunity cost calculator. This AI-driven platform does more than crunch numbers. It revolutionizes how you approach your mortgage debt. Accelerating debt freedom. Do you want to accelerate debt freedom? The OCC strategy is straightforward yet powerful. It identifies the most effective way to allocate your funds. Control over borrowing. You want to look at control over borrowing costs versus housing volatility. Housing volatility is off the charts. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I need one more person to put a number 9 in the chat, and you get this. I'll put the link in there so you can have this for free. Long-term financial impact and lifestyle preservation. Do you want to be able to buy the house that you want? Okay, do you want to get the house that you want and preserve your lifestyle while you're paying it off cheaper and faster? Oh my gosh, you can do that. I just need one more number 9. All right. I got Steve, I got Stevenson Mack, I got Steph C, I got Sharon N. Jones, I got Princess Wooten. Listen, thank you very much, all you guys that are watching. Let me get one more 9 in here, and then I'll give this to you for free. All right. We'll put that link in the, all right. And then we got a conclusion here. All right. This strategy, the strategy that we're talking about, helps you to understand what we're doing here. All right, we have a LinkedIn user with a number 9. Go ahead, and we're going to put that in the chat right now. Thank you very much, LinkedIn user. You put us over the top. All right, we're going to give you that link right now, and then you can get it from our Dropbox. Okay. We're going to get that from our Dropbox. All right, folks, there you go. You can have that for free. And if you go to our website, we're going to give out a little bit more today. You go to our website, Some of you don't have my book yet, but if you go to our website, all right, that is Pill Method. All right, go to the website, pillmethod.com, right here, pillmethod.com. You don't have the book yet, but you can scroll down. Boop, 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 boop. See there? I'll give you the first chapter for free. Right here, scroll down, go to the pillmethod.com. Scroll down here, it says download the first chapter for free. Listen, folks, you can have that today. Get the first chapter for free. We're giving that to you. All right. So you got an article for free on why we need to understand you can control interest cost a lot better than you can control the house prices. All right. This is why you don't wait. This is why you don't wait. Don't wait. And don't worry about the higher interest rates, because if you attack this thing right, most of our clients cut their interest cost by 75%. What does that mean? Or more, 75 to 80% or more. You follow our principles here, okay? And even at 6.5%, let me give you just a kind of an idea. $535,688. Okay. Okay. You can pay about $175,000 or less in interest on this loan. Okay. If you can pay, instead of $535,000, you can pay $170,000 or $175,000. Why would you not want to do that? And you can pay off all of your debt. All of your debt can be paid off. All right. Can be paid off in about 7 to 9 years. 7 to 9 years. So if I can get a house now, when the prices are still relatively low, where a lot of people aren't competing with me to get my house, I have to get a higher interest rate, but because of the higher interest rate, I can save more money using the P.I.L.L method strategies to pay less interest on my loan. I can control the interest cost on my loan. I can cut it by 75 to 80%, because I will not be able to cut my housing costs by 75 to 80%, because the price on my house will go up as soon as the interest rates go down. Trust me on that. People are out of the market right now because of interest rates, and we are looking at interest rates wrong. Greta Smith, thank you very much for that number 9. I appreciate you. All right. So listen, get that link to get a free download of the first chapter of my book. Get that. We're giving it away today. And get the link for the last article that I wrote on why it is important to get the tools to manage interest costs and to manage your finances using AI, using artificial intelligence. Do you want something new, something better? Are you concerned about all the money that you're spending on interest, when you can take that money that you're giving the bank in interest and learn how to invest it in yourselves? We just did a show recently. Where we showed that all the money that we're saving P.I.L.L method clients, if they took the money that they didn't pay to the bank and invested in themselves, regular W-2 earners could have $1 million from their investments using the money they're formerly giving to the bank in interest. How would you like to be able to do that today? How would you like to be able to pay off all of your debt in 7 to 9 years, even at these higher interest rates, because now you know how to read an amortization schedule and you know how to take advantage of it. And now because we have a computer program that's AI powered that will guide you like financial GPS, this is how much money to pay. This is the month to pay it in. This is the exact amount to apply to the debt. Here's the exact loan to apply. And we're going to give you the day, the month, everything in which to do that. And that way you can optimize, meaning you can kill the maximum amount of interest per dollar. Every dollar works harder in the P.I.L.L method. Don't let your money be lazy. Make your money work harder. Don't save less interest by not knowing what to do. Save more interest with less money. See, leverage really means this, folks. What is the least amount I can pay to kill the most amount of interest? That's what leverage is all about, paying the least to get rid of the most. And that's what we do here at the P.I.L.L method. You want to be able to do that today. Start that process right now. Okay. So get your savings and earnings report today. You want a savings and earnings report? Oh man, let me do this. Let me do this first. Let me show you what the opportunity cost calculator looks like. That's going to help you to buy your house now and take advantage of these interest rates while they're in your favor. What? Don, are you saying that the higher interest rates are actually in my favor? Yeah, if you came in here late, you definitely want to hear this broadcast from the beginning. If you came in late, the higher interest rates, if you can afford the payment, the higher interest rates are at your advantage. Okay? It's at your advantage. All right, Greta, thank you very much for being here today. We're going to be back here on Sunday. When we come back on Sunday, guess what we're going to talk about? How people are talking about marry the house, date the rate. When the interest rates drop, refinance. After you've learned this, you're going to say, why refinance? I'm killing this mortgage at the higher interest rate. I'm saving more money and knocking off more payments with the small amount of money I have to use at the higher interest rate. Why will I ever refinance to a lower interest rate and make it harder? You need to, if we plug the numbers into this thing, it'll tell you how much interest you're going to save. It's going to tell you when you're out of debt. It's going to tell you exactly how much to pay and when. All right. It'll tell you all of that so that you can pay off all of your debt, not just the mortgage. Well, this family is going to be paid off in 7.8 years and save $179,000 in interest. How would you like to know that going in? How would you like to know the month, day, and year you could be debt free for free? How would you like to know that? Here's how we're going to do that. I'm going to show you that we're going to put in ice10k.com. There it is, ice10k.com. It'll take you here, and then you just look down at the bottom of the page. All right, let's get that all the way down to the bottom, and scroll down past Dr. Eric Thomas' video, because we've got a short video of him on here. Get your savings and earnings report right there. Click on that button right there. Get your savings and earnings report today. Don't waste another dollar paying off the wrong debt. Get your free savings report. It's in 2 steps. Just follow the directions. When you follow the directions, this part will let you into the financial form. Put all of your debt in. Put your mortgage in. Put your student loans in. Put your car loans in. Put your credit cards in. Put everything in. Put it in, and then hit submit. When our office gets that, someone from my office will give you a call to confirm your financial information. Once it's confirmed, we will produce for you a 2-page report giving you a ton of information that will include the month, day, and year you'll be debt free, how much interest you'll actually pay, how much interest this program can save you, and then tell you when you're going to be out of debt on all of your debt. And it's an average of 7 to 9 years. Now, some people, depending on how much money they make, they can get out of debt faster than 7 years. And some may take as much as 13 years because they may not make as much money. So that's the average, though. But even if it's 13 or 14 years, that's still way better, paying off all of your debt, than 30 years or more. So, but most people are in that 7 to 9 year range. So get your savings and earnings report today for free. All right. So put in your information and get this. So we're going to look at one other thing here. And some of you have already downloaded the first chapter of my book. If you like the book, you can go to this same ice10k.com, ice10k.com, and click on buy my book. It's right there. The link is right there. Get it from here. It'll take you right there. Now, here's something else I want to give you. We've given out some stuff today. We've given out 2 free downloads. Okay? 2 free downloads. And we want to give out something else for free too. I need your help. I need your help to get this information out. Go down here to become an affiliate. How would you like to get paid between $300 and $3,000 a month? $300 to $3,000 a month. Oh my goodness. $300 to $3,000 a month. By no sales involved. Okay, here's what you're going to do. Put in your name, first and last, your phone number, your email address, and how you want to get paid. Okay, there you go. Do that. It takes about 15 seconds to fill out. You'll become a P.I.L.L Method affiliate. When you do, just know that you're not going to get instant confirmation that we received your information. Okay, if it comes right back here, you know that we've received it. Okay. In a few days, you're going to get a letter explaining what to do. All right. We send those letters out weekly. We get so many people coming in. We don't send it out one by one. We send out a batch weekly. And we're going to have training for the affiliates. What does the affiliate have to do? All the affiliate has to do, and this is why we're giving our YouTube channel a facelift. All you have to do is go here to YouTube, all right, and share our YouTube channel with individuals that want to get out of debt faster and cheaper. They want to do something different than they've done before. They're tired of that endless round of refinancing. You can send them here, call them in 2 days, and ask them if they want more information. If they do want more information, then you go right back to ice10k.com, go right back here, okay? And then scroll down past my picture, because my picture's on here too. Scroll down past my picture and you'll see refer a friend right here. Click on refer a friend, okay? All right, so listen, folks, we're also going to give you some benefits for joining the channel. All right, don't forget about joining the YouTube channel. Once you become an affiliate, you can click on refer a friend. Look at that. Just fill that out, send it in to us, and when that person becomes a client, we'll pay you. So depending on how many people you send us in a month, you can make up to $3,000 or more just by sharing the YouTube channel with others. All right. And the last thing, don't forget to click join. Become part of our Pill Method family by getting a membership. Membership has its privileges. We're going to be doing some great things in this next year. We're going to be doing master classes, and people who have memberships will get deep discounts off the master classes that we're going to be providing for you at night. So we're going to be doing evening classes, nighttime classes, live, bringing everybody in, okay, so where you can ask questions, all right, and learn more about prepayment of principal, isolating the principal amount, leverage, and liquidity. And if you want to be a teacher of the P.I.L.L method strategies, the master classes are the way to get that done. Okay. And you'll be able to get deep discounts off of master classes just for becoming a part of our channel. Partner with us. Help us to get the information out. Because listen, this is my third year giving this information away. And it's now time for people all over this country and in other countries. This is why we're P.I.L.L Method International. Right now, we're in 9 countries total. I want to expand that. I want to go to 10 more countries this year, getting the P.I.L.L Method out there to other people in other countries as well. And you can help me. You can help me by becoming a partner for the P.I.L.L Method. Go ahead and click join. All right. And become an affiliate so that you can get paid. Help us get the information out. If you think this information is valuable, go ahead and put some fire emojis in the chat for me. Put some fire emojis in the chat if you think this thing is valuable. And then in the last couple of minutes, I'm going to recap why you want to pay off your loans now instead of later. Okay. We're going to recap that. Why you want to get your house now instead of waiting for the interest rates to come down. If I have a loan at the higher interest rate, I have more control over this loan because of my small principal payments. We proved that with even a $50,000 loan that your grandparents got years ago at 18%. The higher the interest rate, get rid of this, the higher the interest rate, the smaller the principal payment. When you have a small principal payment, you can prepay $3.59 on this loan and knock out payment number 2. You could, at a higher interest rate, you get a smaller principal payment. Never be afraid of the higher interest rates. Get your house now if you can afford it. Go and see about getting pre-qualified, and then contact the P.I.L.L Method. All right, I'm going to give you our office number. Contact the P.I.L.L Method, and let's see how we can position you in the house that you want at the higher interest rates, where competition for that house is lower. Don't wait till they lower the interest rate and competition heats up. And now they're 2, 5, 10, 20, 30 offers on the house you want, and the price just keeps ballooning and puts that house out of reach. Don't wait. Get the house now. Don't wait. Okay? I want to thank everybody for being here. All right? Thank you for being here. Listen, we had a good group today. We had people giving us fire emojis. We had people, clicking on our liking what we're doing. Listen, continue to like the channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment, but also join the P.I.L.L Method family. Okay. Partner with us. Help us to get this information out. And we have 3 levels of partnership. We have silver, we have gold, and we have platinum. And so we're going to make sure that that at the different stages, you'll have more perks. And we're going to be talking about that in the days to come. All right. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Steph C, for the fire emojis. Thank you, Sharon Joan. Thank you, Mom Led and Me. I appreciate you all for being here today. And everybody else, Greta Smith, everybody else who came in and participated. We're going to be back here. We're going to be back here on Sunday. Okay. Where we're going to be talking about refi fantasy. I'm going to tell you why you don't want to listen to. Go. You can leave that up. We're going to talk about refi fantasy, where find the fantasy of refining. Why would a bank refi you to lose money? Because if you're saving money, they're losing money. So don't forget, be here on Sunday. You can go and register for that now. All right, register for it now so that you can be with us on Sunday, where we're going to talk about that. And stop listening to this phrase: marry the house and date the rate. Marry the house and date the rate. That's just something to get you into a house so somebody else can make money. Oh my gosh. You know, because if I can lower my interest rate, do you know how many people right now think if you can lower the interest rate by 2 points, then you should refinance your loan? I'm going to dive deep into the many ways the bank makes money on refinancing. They don't lose money. They make money. You think you're saving money when you refinance? I'm going to show you where it costs you way more to refinance than to stay where you are and pay off the loan. But there are some reasons to refinance, and we'll talk about that as well. But if you're trying to refinance to save money or refinance just to lower your interest rate, no, don't do it. We're going to talk about that on Sunday. Thank you so very much, everybody. We'll see you on Sunday. And for all of those you that apply, listen, if you have good weather, we'll see you in church on tomorrow. Happy Sabbath, everyone. And if you are a member of Oakwood University Church here in Huntsville, their service is going to be virtual tomorrow, just so that you know. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. Thank you for our production staff. Somebody put some fire emojis in there for Ruby, because she does a fabulous job on production. Thank you. We'll see you on Sunday. Happy Sabbath, everyone.
Listen to me, y'all. But one of his mentees took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, "Oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money?" I was like, "I don't know, forever." She's like, "You sure?" Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse, just in case you don't. So when I paid the house off, my boy was like, "You ain't gotta do that, you can do this." But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down for my wife, because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest.